Hi everybody, my name is Theo. I go to the track a lot with my dad. He has a couple Lotuses and some other cars. My brother's got an FRS, and I have a 2005 Chrysler Crossfire SRT6. I've done a bunch of cool stuff to it, modifications to the engine, exterior, interior, and I'm going to go ahead and give you guys a whole walk around of the car, and I'll start this off with a nice little cold start. So first of all, as you can see, a bunch of stuff has been blacked out, not very major stuff. We've got a different grille on it for more airflow. You can even see the nice big air filters from the dual killed air intake up front. We got a tow hook that's welded on. We've got a nice front splitter that has a bunch of splitter rods. I've actually had problems with that in the past because I was getting enough downforce at the track that the rods broke. I have some Forgestar F14 wheels. They are running 235 wide tires in the front, Toyo Proxys R888Rs, and 295s in the rear. I actually have brake calipers and rotors from a C32 AMG. We got side skirts. We got rear brakes from a C32 AMG as well. We got a little diffuser in the back with a tow hook. We also have a wing. This is just kind of a crappy eBay wing, so I'm planning on mounting a real big GT wing pretty soon. Even though this car is an SRT6, it would normally come with a fixed, almost whale tail like wing that doesn't move at all. So what I did is I actually swapped the active wing from a regular Crossfire where the fixed wing would normally be, and then that allowed me to mount the other wider carbon fiber wing with some just generic mounts to it. Now I'm going to show you what my engine bay looks like. We've got our oil catch can, dual cold air intake, aluminum intake manifolds with the crossover pipes. All of those are from Needs wings. These valve covers are just powder coated. We've actually got a supercharger that's been ported and coated by Needs wings also. There's a pulley scatter shield here because sometimes the supercharger pulleys like to break apart. We have a larger throttle body. We've got a ported and coated Y-pipe and supercharger inlet. We've also got a ASP pulley kit, which gives you a larger crank pulley and helps you out with a little more power and makes some of the other pulleys not spin quite as fast. We've also got a Needs wings supercooler up front. It's kind of hard to see, but it's in there. You can see it says Needs wings. There's also a bunch of fuel mods that have been done to the car. Had the stock fuel injectors, and then we went up to 550cc injectors. And once I recently added the larger aluminum intake manifolds, the 550cc injectors weren't enough, so we went up to 630cc fuel injectors, which is what we have now on it, but that's still not enough fuel. So I'm waiting for Rob at Needs wings to send me some either 730cc or 680cc injectors, if I remember correctly. So hopefully I'll be getting that soon, and it'll be making some more power, having the right air to fuel ratio. It's starting to misfire in the end of third gear right now, and I actually have a track day planned coming up on the 28th of this month at Spring Mountain. It's going to be a 2-day event, and I'm trying to get it all finished before then. You'll also see we have some strange pipes up here with the clear. That's actually waterless coolant, and it is all hooked up to a coolant expansion tank that I have located in the trunk of my car. We're actually even running a second intercooler pump back here because we had it at first back here and just one intercooler pump wasn't flowing enough fluid, so we had to add a second one. Now it's flowing a bunch of fluid. We also don't have regular coolant in here anymore because it was getting too hot and building too much pressure, and it would occasionally actually spray out at the top of the expansion tank. This car has Coney racing shocks. I'm not sure if you can see them in there. There they are. Coney racing shocks with ground control lowering springs. I went for the stiffer spring rates and the race shocks, and you know, contrary to what a lot of people have said on the forums, the race shocks, to me at least, maybe it's because I'm young, but they're not actually too bad. I drive this car to the track, from the track to cars and coffee events, whatever, and you know, it's stiff, but it's doable. As I mentioned earlier, it has C32 rotors and calipers. It's got StopTech rotors, and I've had a lot of problems with the brakes on this car. even with the upgraded brakes, this car could definitely use a better braking system. So hopefully that's one of the next things I'm going to be doing to this car. I recently had some Stop Tech pads on this car, and you know, even though they're better than normal street pads, they are still definitely not good enough for what this car needs at the track. So I just recently put on some G-Lock racing pads that should be good. I haven't had it at the track since I put them on, but I'll let you guys know how that goes. Now onto the interior. So first you'll notice that even though this is an SRT6, it actually doesn't have the slate gray interior. I actually swapped over the cedar panels from a regular base model Crossfire because I really liked the look of them. I honestly kind of regret doing that. It was when I first got the car. I was more concerned with looks than performance, but now that I'm into track stuff, I mean, interior looks don't really matter, but it still looks pretty nice. So yeah, we've got the cedar interior. We have a full carbon fiber dash kit. It's not actually carbon fiber interior panels, just a dash kit, so it sticks on. Also have this carbon fiber shift knob. That's a nice little touch. It kind of matches everything on the interior. I've got carbon fiber racing bucket seats. These are NRG seats. They're not the best seats, but they look pretty nice. They work pretty well at the track, and I got a really good deal on them. I've got G-Force 5-point racing harnesses, and obviously the whole trunk is stripped out. At some point I'll be stripping out the rest of the interior. Probably not the center console and dash, but at least the carpeting under the seats. I've already stripped out all the back here. No speakers. You can see the fuel tank. There's normally carpet over all of this. Another great modification that I did to this car that I really love is the paddle shifters. I forget exactly who it is. I think it might be late model 21, a guy who makes these paddle shifters. They're actually paddle shifters from an SLS, and they feel amazing. They're nice aluminum, not the crappy plastic paddle shifters you get in most cars. And I mean, normally to manually shift, you just have to put the stick in drive and then just bump it left and right. But the paddles really make this car feel a lot more engaging, a lot better. And that's definitely one of the best mods that I could recommend anyone do to an automatic Crossfire. We've also got the N-Dash to monitor the engine, the air to fuel ratio, the boost, intake temperatures, exhaust gas temperatures, you name it. When I got the car, it actually just had a Borla catback exhaust on it and a resonator delete. It sounded pretty good, but it droned horribly. So what I actually did to the exhaust is I put back on the stock resonator, and instead of the Borla muffler, I went to a MagnaFlow muffler. It seems to be a little less restrictive than the Borla, but it also drones way less than the Borla. I also have Needswings exhaust manifolds, so they should be a little bit bigger and better flowing than the stock ones. Now that I've gone over the main things done to this car, I'll go ahead and take you guys on a little point of view test drive so that you can see what it's really like to drive it. Now keep in mind, it's not running as great as it normally would be, so soon after I get a tune in the larger fuel injectors, it'll be a little faster. And we're not going to go crazy because obviously we're driving around on the streets, and there will be a track video coming up soon where I'll go more in depth on how it actually is to drive on the track. All right, here we are inside of the car now. I'm going to go ahead and take you guys on a nice little POV test drive. And let's go ahead and start it up. Should be all warmed up, so we should be ready to go. All right. Go. You have to be kind of careful with some of these lower down cars, especially when you have splitters and stuff like that on them, because you can scrape them very easily. This car will actually backfire a decent amount due to it having more fuel in the system. It'll backfire even more once I actually get the whole fuel system worked out. Just like that. All right. it really isn't too bad driving around in this kind of car, even though it's a track car. It's pretty good. You know, seats aren't as uncomfortable as you would think, actually. This car does drone pretty loud, but hopefully you guys can still hear me talking some. I'll go right up here and open the car up a little tiny bit. Feels pretty good. You definitely get a lot of steering feedback in this car through the wheel with the racing suspension, especially the tires. The Proxy's R888R tires give a lot of feedback. Really grippy. They'll pick up any little cracks and crevices in the road. But you know, that's what you expect with cars that have R compound tires. The drone is pretty bad in here, and it's not that great anymore for driving around daily. It used to be my daily driver, and now it's just to and from the track and around town for little cruises. The carbon fiber wing makes it pretty hard to see out of the back of this car. This car already has pretty bad visibility to begin with, and the carbon fiber wing definitely does not help. Oh man, it sounds great. You really get that loud supercharger whine. Thanks for watching the video, guys. This is my first time vlogging at all. I hope you guys liked it. Let me know any feedback you guys might have, any suggestions for what you want to do, what you might want to see on the channel. I'll try and continue to upload videos a couple times a week. That would be my main goal for now. I can do more Crossfire content. I'll definitely have track content coming up at with the Crossfire very soon. So yeah, have a great day, guys, and I'll see you soon.